Hello everyone, and welcome back to my gardening and growing channel. Today is Sunday, May 30th, and it's time to plant the vegetables in the community garden, finally. Here's all my tomatoes, and there's onions, leeks in there. Hopefully I'll get to those today too. So, what I'm going to do, this will be tomatoes in this bed, and one tomato in the back, 4 tomatoes, 1 tomato in the back, and then probably one more tomato over here. I'm also going to try and put peppers in today if I can, so we'll see. Those will be in this second bed, and then that far bed over there. Fertilizer I'm using is, well, I'm going to be putting some of these crushed eggshells into the hole when I dig it. And I'm also going to be using this garden tone that I had laying around. Hopefully I can get more on sale in the fall. We shall see. So let me lay out these plants, these tomatoes, and I'll show you what that looks like, where they're going to be. Okay, so here how my tomato plants are laid out, how I'm going to plant them, basically. As you can see there, and there. There's one over there behind the hay bale, which I'll show you in a second. Let me just show you what I'm planting, actually. So, this one is Japanese black trifle, kind of the potato leaf variety. It's a very good producer and just a very good tomato plant overall. This one here is Illinois Beauty. Another nice tomato. It's a red tomato. This one's Niagas. It's another black type tomato. This one here, Kumato. And Kumato was one that I actually took seeds from in the store, so I just kind of grow it every year. Another black type tomato. This one here is Tappy's Heritage. It's a big red tomato. This one's going to be in with the peppers. Over here, these are the cherry tomatoes, basically, at least most of them. This one's Rapunzel. It's a red cherry tomato. And this one is Purple Russian. It's free seeds I got from Baker's Creek. This guy's going to be very tall and viney. Almost fell. This one is, oh gosh, I can't pronounce it again. It's a yellow tomato, kind of a small one. Waspinacha Peach. Kind of fuzzy. The skin has actually got a little bit of fuzz on it, so that's why they call it that. It's a really good mild flavored tomato. Here is yellow pear. It's another pear-shaped cherry tomato. This one is one of my all-time favorites, Cherokee Purple. I grow it every year. Nice sturdy tomato. It's very tasty, very big. And the last one, growing this one over here for the wife, just because she wants some green tomatoes. I figure this is the best for green tomatoes. And it's Best Boy, so it's a hybrid. I don't grow too many of those. I mainly grow Heirloom. So, all right, let me get these planted. Well, I'll show you what I'm doing in the planting hole, and I will show you that next. Okay, so I went ahead and cut the hole in the fabric, dug the hole out. Can't see, it's dark, but you're not gonna be able to see that. But so now what I'm going to do is put some of this garden tone in there. I just throw in a couple handfuls to start off with. So a couple handfuls. And that won't burn anything, it's organic. So, and then I guess I'll take a handful of these eggshells and throw them in the hole. This is for calcium, to try to prevent blossom end rot on the tomato. And so what I did with these eggshells was, of course, I cracked the egg, I rinsed them out after I cracked the egg, rinsed it out, and then I placed them like on a baking tray, put them in the oven at like, I think it was 225 for an hour or so, just to kind of kill any bacteria if there is, and it sort of dries out the shells too. And then I busted them up. See, I got this in here. Got the eggshells and the fertilizer in here, so I'm going to mix it in. Mix it in the soil. And now the tomato's going to go in. So, what you want to do with the tomato, I tried to get it sort of deep, but I'm getting a little tired of digging, but it'll be fine. You want to cut off some of these bottom leaves. I know a lot of people don't like doing that. That way you can bury the stem a bit and roots will come out of there. So let's go ahead and we'll cut this off. And we'll cut this one off. If I can get to it. Cut the plant. And then cut this one off. Might be good, we'll see. On this side. I think I'm going to actually cut this one too. It's you don't want it to touch. It'll be fine. This will all grow back, and you want to keep air flowing through the bottom of the tomato. So, and this will be touched. Even though you don't want it to touch the dirt because then you get certain diseases. This is going to be covered. This is covered with this fabric, and there'll be straw, so we shouldn't really get any splash up on the leaves to give disease. But you still want to keep the air flowing through, so you don't get other diseases. So I'll cut this one. I think that's it. I think I'll leave this one here. Okay, let me try to pull it out of the pot here. Show you see how root bound it is. Look yet. Not easy to do with one hand. There we go. So it's not too bad. What you want to do is break up the roots. Don't worry, they'll be fine. Pull them apart. Won't hurt the plant. Recover very quickly. Go ahead and break it up. There you go. Nice and loose now. Yeah, that wasn't root bound too bad. It's nice and loose like that. Then we'll put it in the hole, and I'll backfill, and I'll show you what that looks like when that's done. Okay, so I got the tomato plant planted, labeled, and it's ready to go. So I'm going to plant the rest of these tomato plants that I have here, and then I will show you what that looks like when I'm done. Okay, I've got all the tomatoes planted in the community garden here. There's the 4 there, 1 there, 4 there, and the 1 there, and the 1 there. So now what I'm going to attempt to do is get in as many pepper plants as I can. Hopefully I can finish today, but we shall see. Okay, so here's all my peppers I'm about to plant in the garden bed. Here's some more. Here's some peppers here I'm going to plant in pots at the house. And there's also, well, here's a cucumber I'm going to plant here in the garden. And then this zucchini, I believe, right here. This zucchini I'm going to plant, and you can see it looks like the aphids got to it a bit. You see the stuff on the bottom of the leaf, but I'll treat it and hopefully it does fine. Here's some of the peppers I'm growing. These are Reza Macedonia. They're like a drying pepper. Here's MOA Scotch Bonnet, Carolina Reaper, Chocolate Reaper. This is Yellow Fever. There's a sweet banana. There's a pepper. Fish pepper. 7-pot yellow brain strain. 7-pot yellow prima. Mall's Red Hot. Mustard Naga. Red Savinas. lemon habaneros. And these red savinas are habaneros, just like the hottest ones, I think, hottest habanero. And then we got pumpkin jalapeno, poblanos, and Ethiopian brown, which is basically like a drying pepper. So, okay, I'm finally putting the leeks in. And I bet these are going to be about as root bound as you get. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Yeah, see, look at that. It's very root bound. But they're leeks. They're in the onion family, so I can pretty much just rip these apart. And they will be just fine. I've done it before. They got really big this year. I think it was my grow lights I had. They don't get this big this fast. I'm not sure. Onions are the same way. I'm going to pull these apart and show you what it looks like. So here's the leeks all separated. This one's pretty big right here. It's actually pretty easy. I don't think I even lost too many roots in the process. As you can see, come apart relatively easy. There are some broken ones, but they'll be fine. So I'll put these in here, and I'll show you what it looks like. I may not be able to fit them all in this bed. Actually, the garlic is really looking good this year. Here's the leeks from last year also flowering here. Heard you can eat the flowers. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but pretty good size. All right, let me show you what it looks like when I'm done. So what I like to do with the leeks, well, first of all, I put some in the eggshells and then fertilize this trench here. I like to bury them a little bit deep. You can bury them pretty deep, actually. If you bury them kind of deep, it'll get that white that people like on the leek. I mean, you can eat the whole leek. A lot of people toss away the green part, not sure why. But yeah, so I bury them kind of deep. I don't know if you can see. So we'll get a lot of that white. I'll show you what it looks like when I plant them in. Okay, so all the leeks are planted in. Not sure if you can see them. One, there's two. There's the big one. So they're all planted in. Hopefully they don't get shaded out too much from these other ones, but I think they'll be all right. Yep, so they're all planted in. I'm going to water them in, and then that'll be one other thing down. Okay, so I'm about to plant out the onions. As you can see, they're root bound too, but they'll come right apart just like the leeks. Let me pull them apart and I'll show you. Okay, so I got the onions all separated and ready to plant. So I put them in the bed, show you what it looks like. They actually weren't that hard to separate. Lost some roots, but not a big deal. It'll be fine. So I'm going to put them in and show you what it looks like. Okay, all the onions are planted, as you can see. It's pretty quick. Now I'll get the rest of this stuff planted over here. I did buy a few things at Home Depot today. Green bell pepper. Jalapeno. 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 And an eggplant. I wanted a Japanese eggplant, but all they had was the regular kind and this white one, so I figured I'd try this white one. I'll probably try and separate them since they're right close to each other, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just leave them together. I hear that if these peppers here are together, that they grow fine side by side, so maybe I'll just do that. Let me plant all this stuff up and show you what it looks like. Okay, I pretty much got the whole garden planted up. As you can see, tomatoes, tomato, peppers. Of course, here's all the leeks I planted yesterday. Got the onions all planted. Here's some the peppers I bought from, peppers and eggplant I bought from Home Depot, and some I grew. Yeah, sweet banana I grew. The eggplant. This mystery pepper because I didn't label it. Here's my valerian root. So this will be interesting to see how that grows. Tomatoes again. Tomatoes. And peppers and tomatoes. That tomato over there. Here is a zucchini. It's kind of rough. I'm sure it'll spring back. And here's a cucumber. I'm gonna have to figure out what to plant on the end there. Maybe I'll just go find something strange at the store, like I think I saw an artichoke or something like that. That'll be interesting. Then I planted beans in here. And those are easy to plant, just push them into the ground. I'm gonna put the asparagus in the end here when it gets a little bit bigger. Here are some of the beans I grew. Purple whole peas, these are called. Find some wax beans. Planted some, of course, Blue Lake green beans. Planted some edamame. And it's Arkansas peas. I thought I had some laying over here so you can see what they look like. They look. Where they went. There's one. One in there, it's next to the blue. These are drying beans, just like the purple hole can be drying beans. So that's how it looks. It's kind of tricolor, looks pretty cool. It's called Arkansas Razorback bean, I believe. It's supposed to be a bush bean. I pretty much grow them every year. So now what I'm going to do is cover these things with this straw. And then at a later date, I'll come and put these tomato cages in for some of the peppers and all the tomatoes, of course. I'm going to wait to cover up these beans till they start popping through the surface. And once they do that, I'll cover them up too. So everything's looking pretty good. Finally about done. Thank goodness. Well, I tried to cover all the beds with straw, but I ran out. As you can see, I got 3 fully covered. And partial there, so hopefully if I get a small bale of hay, or straw I should say, and finish this up, but it's not going to be today. So anyway, that's it for now. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day, everyone.